Good morning, crypto traders, hodlers, and investors of cryptocurrency. Welcome to Crypto Traders Room. This is your host, Crypto Trader, and one of the only places where we eat, drink, sleep, dream, trade, and invest in digital currencies. And of course, majority of you guys know that Crypto Traders Room is one of the last frontiers in keeping it real with honesty and integrity. Hope everyone's having a great start to the week. It is Monday. Unfortunately, weekend goes by quick. Andreas, good morning, or actually good afternoon for you, bud. Welcome. SkyTech, what is up, buddy? Good morning for you. Afternoon for some people, morning for others, late night for other people. But yeah, if you're a new time viewer, don't be shy, say what's up. And don't forget to click on that subscribe button, as well as the post notification, and stay connected with us on Steemit, Twitter, as well as Facebook. Marion, what is up, buddy? Brandon H. Gottfried. Mark, new name on here. That's awesome to see a new name. Like seeing that. And I also like seeing the repeat viewers as well, too. You guys are awesome for taking the time out and hanging out with me on this live stream. So I'm still under the weather, still haven't felt good. It's been 2 weeks now since I've been sick, and it sucks. It sucks. But yeah, what is going on in this crazy freaking market? You know, Wednesday, after I got off the live stream, it was insane. Of course, 2X was canceled, and BTC started pumping, and then of course it started dumping. So it was definitely the pump of BTC, a momentarily pump of BTC, and then really it was a dump of BTC and the pump of BCH, and now it's vice versa, where BCH is starting to make a comeback, and Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Gold are definitely downtrending at this current moment. But yeah, we'll take a look at a couple things and possibly see where this market is going to go. But honestly, nobody can predict what's going on. The whales definitely pumped and dumped BTC as they piled into BCH and got it to pump up. And BCH had a crazy, crazy pump. So if you were in it before the pump and you took profits, man, more power to you, because that was significant profit, basically from $800 to almost $2,800, $2,000 increase. If you bought at the top, unfortunately, I hate to say it, if you bought at the top, you definitely get the knob award for that one. And I'm sure a lot of people bought it at the top, expecting it to maintain that price point. And, the whales dumped it back down as they piled back into BTC. And I was on our Slack chat on Wednesday, and after really looking at the market, and I basically said, that BTC really, I can see it, before the weekend ends, coming down to 5,000. That was really the level that I kind of saw it coming down to, and on Bitfinex it came down to $5,400 before really making a nice run back up to almost 66, almost $6,700. So pretty significant gains. If you're able to capture something in the $5,400-$5,500 range, at least get a small position in. But yeah, we had a nice little fake out, but I mean, it was a big fake out, to be honest with you, from 5,400 almost to 6,500, but then pulled back heavily. So that definitely probably got a lot of people to panic and sell, maybe lock in the profits. But yeah, after that, it really made it right back up. So we're going to take a look at the trend on the daily basis. Basically, we'll start it from the 12th, where it really started to come down. So much volatility this weekend. Yeah, dude, it definitely was. We saw really, pump of a lot of alts. A lot of the solid alts got nicely pumped up, and they got dropped right back down. It wasn't anything that was going to sustain it. The whales control this market, and if they want to move something up, they'll move it up. If they want to bring it down, they'll bring it down. So with some of these alts, I mean, you have the profit, you got to take them. You got to take them and just be happy with them and not get greedy. In the market, they say that pigs get slaughtered. So when you're greedy and you're being a pig, that's when you'll get slaughtered. Unfortunately, it sucks, but it happens. And it happens to the best of us. I didn't get trapped in this market. I still have my ETH, the 2.4 that I have, 2.3, whatever it is. And I haven't sold it yet. So, I'm hoping something bigger and better for ETH, considering that it is a very solid investment, almost like Litecoin at the current moment. So, it's going to have its moment where it will get pumped, but it's going to come right back down to retest that $300 again. So, I don't really plan on holding it too long. If she does have a nice pump, I'll lock in those profits in the 350 range. Andreas, are we seeing a dead cat bounce on BTC? You're still expecting that 5,500. Yeah, dude, anything's a possibility in this market. I mean, if the whales want to bring this down and they want to pile into BCH or, Bitcoin Cash, I'm sorry, Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin Gold, they'll do it. And we're going to take a look at all three of those things, all three of those cryptocurrencies, because they did get pumped. And of course, they got dropped as well, too. You sold your BCH too early at 1,200, but still made a good profit. Be happy with it, man. Be happy with it, because you could have held on to it, and it's right back down to where you basically bought it, below where you bought it. Basically, it's 1188 now. But we'll take a look at BTC first, and then we'll take a look at BCH as well as BTG, and then maybe any other cryptocurrencies that you guys are in that you want me to take a look at. Oliver from Croatia, welcome, buddy. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at just the overall, maybe the 12-hour chart on BTC, see where this thing has been. And on the 12-hour chart, where does she come down to? Our 100-day moving average. She basically just about touched our 100-day moving average before making a nice comeback. Let's take a look at the one-day chart. One-day chart dipped right below our 50-day moving average. But we're going to get a little granular on this and take a look at it on the 30-minute chart. So what did this thing really channel within really the 12th yesterday and then today? And then we'll take a look at maybe support and resistance, where it could possibly go to. But she did break out above, where that resistance would have been from yesterday. And that resistance from yesterday was basically just about, almost 6,500 bucks, 6,475, let's just say, just to make the math a little easy. But yeah, I mean, and, it attempted to retest that 5,400 again, and it didn't retest it. There was a lot of support. Maybe people that were waiting on the sideline that didn't, get in that $5,500, $5,400 range, they decided, you know what, this has come down significantly. It's almost down to the bottom of that trend for the day. I'll take advantage of it here. And, they captured some nice profit from it. But right now it's still hovering just a little above its high from yesterday. And that high was, like I said, 64.70. Let's see what it was exactly. 64.69. So almost 64.70 was the high for it. But yeah, who knows what this market is going to do? At any point, BTC could be pumped up again as BCH takes a tumble, or vice versa. Really, it all depends, what the whales are willing to support at that current moment. And if we can figure out, what the whales are moving, are they moving BCH to an exchange, or are they moving BTC to an exchange from a hardware wallet? Then, we kind of have somewhat of an idea of, what are they possibly going to be dumping. And I'm sure Roger Ver was dumping his BCH at that all-time high of 2,800 bucks. But yeah, looking at this, a little granular, let's get to the 15 minutes. Yeah, still a lot of uncertainty, But, if this thing was to really start to come down, let me get rid of the chat real quick. Where would it possibly come down to? What level could we see this thing kind of settle before really starting to make a comeback? And I would have to, speculate and say, it would probably have to come down to maybe that 6,050 bucks, somewhere in that range. If it doesn't get to, on the 30-minute chart, to our 50-day moving average. Or let me make sure that is the 50-day moving average. Yes, that is. A 50-day moving average could be a nice support line for it, a 61.40. But if she does dip below that, really, I can't see this thing dropping, unless panic selling ensues, unless whales decide to dump. I really can't see it coming down below 6,000. If it gets down to 5,400, we could have a nice little dead cat bounce from it. But if selling intensifies, then, that 5,000 could be a nice psychological level of a very solid support. And looking at the overall chart, let's see if that 5,000 is where our moving average would be kind of settling at. And our 200-day moving average is basically just a little under that $5,000 price point. So, I mean, if you're going to be patient with this and you're not going to suffer from that FOMO, that's really the level that I would wait for. And that's the level that I was kind of waiting for to see if she would touch it. But 5,400 was a very solid support. But, prior resistance, which that resistance was the 5,000, before she had a really nice confirmed breakout above that 5,000. That's really where I kind of saw it dipping down to. But there was a lot of support that came in with it and really brought it up from that 5,400 bucks sitting at the 100-day moving average. So short-term price action, I would say 6,000. unless selling continuously intensifies. Darkness, what is up, buddy? Welcome. What exchange am I using now that U.S. customers are locked out of Bitfinex? Yeah, unfortunately, we are locked out of Bitfinex. Binance, I do have an account at Binance. I haven't funded it yet, but really it's going to be Binance at the current time. And I'm going to be really looking at Robinhood. So I signed up for their beta, attempted to sign up for the beta, and it said that my account wasn't really registered when it should be registered. So I shot them an email. But yeah, I'm going to be taking a look at Binance. I'm sorry, not Binance, Robinhood, and see, how well their exchange is. I'm sure in the beginning they're going to have some glitches, but hopefully, it can be a very good exchange that I can utilize as long as their charting system is up to par. And that's one of the biggest things. Their charts have to be good. All right, so we'll see how this thing handles. This really support here, and that support is really should be, is that 6470. 6470 should be a support that it's got to hold in order for this to be somewhat short-term bullish price action. And if it can't hold it, then that 6,000 could definitely be in sight. So we'll definitely keep an eye out on that 6470. And if she dips below it, 6,000 could be definitely in sight. So, if you're patient, if you haven't bought in yet, I would definitely be patient, because right now with all this FUD that's being spread and all this manipulation, who knows, what the price action is going to be. Yeah, Docman's got a wrench. He got a wrench actually after the live stream ended on Friday. I saw your message and I was like, man, he deserves a wrench. Should have given you a wrench a long time ago. All right, let's take a look at this crazy pump on BCH. Definitely didn't sustain any type of move, because it's really coming right back and retesting, possibly going to be retesting that 885 bucks, or possibly 890 bucks. So if she dips below 1,000, that should be a very solid support for it. And let's see kind of what happened in the past here. But man, just to think, I had this thing, I bought this thing at 200 bucks and sold it at 300, thinking 50% was great. I was happy with a 50% profit. But then I never looked back, to rebuy it back in the $300 range. But 300, range is really where a lot of the consolidation happened for a very extended period of time. And let's see how long that happened for. Especially after hitting that peak of 977, 300 range was really a very solid support. She broke below it just a little bit to 280, but she basically maintained that $300 range. So, if people wanted to dump BCH and get back into BTC, it could retest that $300 range, and that would be a solid entry point. After it touches that 300, who knows what it's going to do? Is it going to get pumped back up, or it's just going to maintain that price point for an extended period of time? More than likely, in my opinion, it'll maintain that price point for an extended period of time. I don't think we're going to see another crazy pump like this again, to be honest with you. But yeah, let's look at maybe the 1 hour chart on this. But yeah, I hope nobody bought. Somebody bought it at 2,799 bucks. Someone definitely bought it, and yeah, it sucks if they're still holding it. But yeah, this thing didn't even really maintain any type of support. It didn't maintain a support of 1,400, which I would have thought it would have probably maintained that. This thing is just very choppy, completely choppy. Nothing great about this at all. So if you locked in profits, dude, pat yourself on the back, because no one knows where this thing is going to go. But if it can hold and maintain the $1,000 level, then it's going to be somewhat short-term bullish at the current moment. But if it can't hold it, then it'll definitely retest that $800, because really that $800 is where, let's see, where it really started to move up from. Actually, the 900 bucks. From 900 bucks on is really where it started to pull up, and had a crazy push to the upside. FOMO chasers, whales, dumping their BTC and getting into BCH. But yeah, this gave back a lot of its profits, way too much of its profits within a very short period of time. Within one day, going from 2,800 bucks all the way down to 1,090. That's huge. That is just huge. It gave back 1,700 bucks of its profit. So it's a dangerous game. It's a dangerous game when you chase something. And if you're chasing something, more than likely, you're going to get burned. You're going to get burned 99% of the time, 95% of the time, because it's not something that's going to be sustained. There was no really positive news that came out of BCH at all. It was just all pure speculation and pure pump, and Wells is jumping in and push the price up, and that's all it was. But yeah, I honestly, I don't even know how to chart this thing. I really don't. But at the current moment, as long as it holds and maintains that $1,000 level, short-term price action is bullish. Yeah, it's bullish. But if he can't, and Wells kind of pull out of this, and people that bought it pretty high panic and sell, then this is going to go down further than it currently is, and it could definitely retest that 900 bucks. Let's see what you guys are saying. Susanna's, yes, you made it finally. Great to see you on here. Yeah, Docness, you definitely deserve that wrench, man. So congrats. Yeah, hopefully the weather's good in Cyprus for you. Definitely not good for me here. We're getting somewhat slush, freezing rain. SE, good morning, buddy. Let's see, Crypto 20 opened some kind of investment opportunity for U.S. citizens. Got an email today or yesterday trying to find it. Don't know what I did with it. Yeah, you have to be an accredited investor, unfortunately, so that there are criteria that you have to fulfill. And I'm sure they'll be doing their due diligence on verifying the information that you do submit. They'll be doing credit check, asking for tax return, things like that. But yeah, there is a possibility that U.S. citizens, and they're looking for basically 99. I don't think they can go over 99 U.S. investors. So you do definitely have to be an accredited investor. But yeah, I got that email, man, I can't remember, a while ago, maybe a week ago, something to that extent. Dylan, welcome, buddy. You gave them your free Bitcoin Cash at 1,800 bucks or so. There you go, man. That's a pretty solid profit. Pretty solid profit, times whatever, however many Bitcoin Cash that you had. Yeah, it got up to 2,800 bucks, but I mean, who knew? It didn't maintain that price point at all. I mean, it didn't even really close, above 23.87. I think 23.87 was really the closing price. Let's see. Closing price, where is it? 23.86 was the closing price. So, I wouldn't kick yourself over that. 1,800 bucks is still pretty solid for something that you didn't, pay a dime for. But yeah, 2,799 bucks. I mean, that's just it's an insane type of move. BCH chart, look for it to hit 0.59. I can't even do the math anymore to figure out what that is in USD. Yeah, if you want to tell me what that is in USD, that'd be great. But yeah, let's take a look at your chart real quick, if it allows me to pull it up. So somewhere around here, that would be, let's see, if that chart is from today. Or that chart's from the 9th, it looks like. So possibly the 1,000, 1,013, 1,010 bucks. I don't know, man. With the way things are going right now, I mean, I could definitely see it retesting that 880 bucks, 875 bucks. I can definitely see it retesting that. Because that's really where it kind of consolidated and stayed above it. And as we can see, let me put a couple circles here so you guys can see exactly what I'm looking at. So, we had that nice little, well, it attempted to run up, but it couldn't break out above that 875 bucks, pulled back a little bit. But then once it did break that 875, it stayed above it and maintained that 875 where it didn't break down below it. So, you know, hypothetically, if this thing was to come down and have some sort of support, you know, as a trader, that's where I would support it. You know, it maintained a prior resistance and it didn't break down below that resistance. That's pretty solid, in my opinion, for it to retest that and possibly have a nice little dead cat bounce. I'm not going to say that it's going to maintain it going forward, but that's an area that it could stop at, and it could have a nice little dead cat bounce, you know, possibly retesting back the $1,000 level or $1,100 level before really the bears or the bulls take control and decide what price action, you know, which way it's going to go. But yeah, 875 is really what I would be kind of patient for. Yeah, definitely. What happened with BCH, what happened with BTG was complete manipulation. It definitely was, you know, textbook manipulation. And we got to just definitely keep that in the back of our mind that, you know, the cryptocurrency market can and will easily be manipulated. And really, there's nothing that we can do about it. I mean, if you have an entry and you have the profits, you know, start locking in some of the profits. You don't have to sell everything, but, you know, be happy with some of the profits you have and lock them in, because before you know it, it could easily turn back against you and come back down. So, I mean, anybody that really bought this thing, let's just say, you know, at $1,000 because they saw it start to break out and they didn't take profits at 2,000 or 2,500 bucks, or even, you know, 2,000 bucks. Yeah. I mean, you know, now they're up just basically almost 200 bucks, a little under 200 bucks. So, you know, you got to be happy with those profits, because a lot of times they don't sustain this type of move. When they have a parabolic move and they basically go up, you know, within a day from 880 bucks all the way to 2,800 bucks, you can't hold it and wish and hope that it gets up higher, because more than likely whales are going to dump this thing. And, you know, when they're making millions and millions and millions of dollars, there's no need for them to hold it whatsoever. Like I said, I'm sure Roger Ver was definitely taking a lot of profit as it was going up to above 2,500 bucks. Yeah, watching it live is it's pretty crazy. You know, if you're able to be at a computer and see these type of price action moves, and I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with getting in, you know, but you got to you got to be ready to get out. You know, you got to be ready to get out with the profit that you've maintained, that you're happy with, and not hold it, not even walk away from your computer saying, you know what, this is going to maintain a specific price point. Right now, it's not really maintaining anything except for above, you know, that 880 bucks that I see it coming down to. You found that email. That's good. Yeah, but unfortunately, yeah, we got to be accredited. But, you know, I don't think, I mean, you're not a U.S. citizen, so you're able to take advantage of it, which is good. Crypto Cutter, welcome, buddy. Pulled an extra Bitcoin off that BCH run. Yeah, it was madness. And if you could capitalize off of it and lock in some profit, I mean, you just made yourself, what, 6 grand? You know, 6,500 bucks basically. If you're still holding that BTC, you can't beat that at all. I mean, within, you know, what, a couple hours, making 6 grand, 6,500 bucks. But yeah, let me get to some of these comments and then we'll take a look at the pump on Bitcoin Gold as well too. Let's see what you're saying, Crypto Cutter. You're betting it'll be 900 bucks as BTC will be down. 900 bucks on BCH, I'm assuming you're talking about. If it's BCH, yeah, I completely agree with you. That 880, 900 bucks, you know, that's really the support that I see. And that should be a solid support, you know, considering almost, you know, a little less than a day, it maintained that price point. It didn't dip below it before having a crazy run up to the upside. Patrick Crypto. Who is Patrick Crypto? Oh, Patrick, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. I didn't know you changed your name. I was like, I don't remember giving Patrick Crypto a wrench. But yeah, welcome, buddy. What a fake out, dude. Fake out manipulation. I mean, you can throw any word at it, but yeah, it's evil, complete evil. And the crazy thing is, there's a lot of new people that are jumping onto this and seeing the run up, and they suffer from that FOMO, and they don't lock in the profits right away. If you don't lock in those profits right away, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. And that's a problem, Suzanne, where things are being manipulated, especially having a crazy parabolic move like this. I mean, this is not a sustained type of move. I mean, anytime you see these type of moves and you're in that trade, you got to lock in the profit and not wish and hope, because more than likely it's going to come back down. Now, if it would have gone up, of course it went up to 2,800 bucks, and if it would have come back down to 2,000 and maintained that 2,000 and consolidated, like we're seeing, in this price action range here where the circle is, then that's a pretty healthy, solid move, because now there is support for it. But when it goes up so high and then it basically dumps right back down, I mean, let's take a look at the price action on this from what time to what time. 1:30, it hit that high of 2,800 bucks. Let's just say 6:30. So within 5 hours, it came down to 1,150 bucks. That's not a sustained type of move at all whatsoever. No, I'm not in the UK. I am not in the UK. I wish I was. I wish I was. I'm gonna have to renounce my US citizenship. Kim.com is pumping BCH. I don't know I didn't think he was, but if you're saying he was, then there's a possibility. I mean, there's a lot of people that, excuse me, that are probably holding BCH, that really took advantage of the fork. And, they definitely want to see that investment grow. Roger Ver is definitely one of them. I mean, he was holding a shitload of BCH, and he's a firm believer of BCH. So, he's going to pump it any way that he can. And if the profits are there, especially from, 800 bucks all the way to 2,800 bucks, yeah, why would he not dump it and then buy back in cheaper? And I'm sure, when he dumped his BCH as BTC was going down, he was piling back into BTC. But yeah, I think Crypto Cutter, you're absolutely right, man. That 900 bucks, 880 should be a nice support level for it. And I can definitely see it getting to that level. I don't think there's going to be any type of other manipulation that's going to happen. Considering, people already got trapped in this. So unless they panic and sell, all the newbies, all the knobs, if they panic and sell at that 880, then yeah, she could retest out. Let's just take a look at this a little further. What could she actually retest? 700 bucks. So really anywhere from, if newbies start selling, if they start to panic sell, if they kind of give up hope on BCH, and it breaks below that 880, 900 bucks, 700 bucks is definitely in sight. And there's that 700 bucks here, where it had a hard time maintaining it. And, I've said in the past that prior resistance can become current support, and that was a prior resistance. So if it breaks below 900, 880, 700 is definitely in sight, and 700 hopefully should maintain, because a breakout above 700 wasn't too bad at all. It wasn't a major breakout, but it did have a nice uptrend from it. It wasn't a parabolic breakout. So 900 doesn't hold, 880 doesn't hold, 700 is definitely in sight. All right, another pump and dump on Bitcoin Cash. I'm sorry, Bitcoin Gold. Bitcoin Gold. So what did this thing go up from? And I remember seeing this thing at, it was like 120 bucks, and then it hit 87 bucks. And there's that 87 bucks right here. Let's see if that was exactly 87. 87.20. So 87.20 has held. So if we do have a major sell-off, really that's a great entry, because twice it maintained that price point. I don't really see it getting down to 56 bucks. I really don't. 56 bucks was definitely a, when it was first listed, that people decided to, what? I got some free coins. I'm going to go ahead and lock in some profits. But 87 bucks, let's see, 85.90 right there. And then 87.20 there. So 87 bucks, 85 bucks should hold if we do have a major sell off. You know, that's a strong, solid support. Hasn't really broken below it ever since it was almost listed on Bitfinex. And that was October 24th and October 28th. But, you know, it's going to have support, and it's going to have support where prior resistance was and where the major breakout happened from. So prior resistance was right there. If this thing will cooperate with me. So at that 174 bucks, 175 bucks, the breakout was massive. And it was a clear confirmation of definitely a pump, but clear confirmation of a breakout that happened above that price point. Because as we can see on, what was this, November 5th, it got to that 174.40. That was a high that is set, consolidated underneath that 175 bucks, attempted to break out right over here, hit 174.90, couldn't do it. But then the breakout, you know, a couple hours later was pretty massive. So, you know, she has to break a certain key level in order for us to determine whether she's going to be, you know, hitting second area of support or possibly third area of support. So currently right now, that $175 is the first area of support. And she's proven to us that it is a first area of support, because really when she had the first big pump up to 480 bucks and she decided to downtrend and come down heavily, she came down to 182 bucks. So it's not always going to be the exact point of 175 bucks, but, you know, she'll retest it and get close to it. And she has proven to us here on this candlestick on the 12th for it to get to 182 bucks that, you know what, that 175 is a good first area of support for it. Now, let's just say hypothetically, sorry, I needed to sip a cup of coffee. Now, let's say hypothetically, which I can definitely see it happening, you know, because people are going to start piling into BTC. That's kind of my speculation. So if they do that, you know, the flipping is going to happen where people are going to be taking profits or possibly taking losses from BCH and BTG and moving it over to BTC. But, you know, when she does break 175 bucks, and I can definitely see it breaking, next second area of support is going to be that $125. $125 is going to be second area support. If it breaks $175, then, you know, $90, $87 will be the third area support. So those are really key levels that anybody that's looking at getting into Bitcoin Gold should be looking at. You know, it all depends too. You know, how is she breaking those areas of support? If she breaks it with a vengeance, then yeah, more than likely, you know, I would say 85% of the time she will get to that level of second area support, which is at 125. And then she could have a nice little dead cat bounce depending on, you know, who's going to take control of the price action, the bears or the bulls. And then that will determine whether she's going to come back and settle below, you know, that $90 and hit 87 possibly. But, you know, $90 is a level that I would basically be waiting for, you know, so maybe putting in a buy order at $90.01. You know, if she gets to it, then you know what, you have an entry. If she doesn't get to it, then, you know, you look at other options possibly. But yeah, I can see it definitely coming down, breaking below that 175, retesting that 125. And then it all depends, you know, how she handles that 125. Is she going to have a nice dead cat bounce from it where there will be a good amount of support, or is she going to teeter-totter for an extended period of time and consolidate in that range before really discovering the price action? But let me see what you guys are saying, try to answer some questions. And then if there is any cryptocurrency you guys want me to take a look at and analyze before I end this live stream, I will gladly do that. Crypto Cutter, thanks for joining, bud. So BTG is now tradable. Yes, it is tradable on, if you have access to Bitfinex. Let's go ahead and take a look and see, where is it tradable? And I mean, I love CoinMarketCap. You know, I can go in there and look exactly, you know, what exchanges they're on. So it's on Bitfinex, it's on HitBTC, it's on Binance, CoinNest, never heard of it. Yobit, stay away from it. Gate.io, never heard of it. I would stay away from it. But yeah, a good amount of exchanges. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't trust these exchanges at all. A lot of them I would not trust. Binance is probably the only one that I would trust. Bitfinex to an extent, until they decided to bar us from using their platform. But yeah, if you have access to Bitfinex, that's a place to trade it, to put in those low ball offers, as well as Binance too. But yeah, Suzanne, there's never a stupid question. Never. Don't think that at all. But yeah, if you know, I would definitely get familiar with CoinMarketCap, because really, I mean, you can find any coin on there. So let's just say, you know, I don't know, I'm gonna put Robinhood. And you know, you find a cryptocurrency that you're interested in, and you want to find out what exchanges they're on. You just click on markets, and it'll tell you exactly, you know, what market is it traded on, what is the daily volume on it, what is the price, and how much of the volume is controlled by that specific exchange. So you definitely want to go where the crowd is. So you know, if I was to trade Robinhood, you know, I wouldn't trade it on Decentrix. You know, they only control 2.26% of the volume. It'd be hard for me to be able to get in. Well, I could probably get in, but it might be tough to get out, you know, with a very solid profit if it does decide to go up, because there aren't too many people that are trading on that exchange. But on Ether Delta, you know, currently at the moment, they're controlling 97% of the volume. So, you know, you have a better chance of getting in and getting out. So you always want to go where the crowd is, and you always want to trade on an exchange where the crowd is. Let's see, Andreas, is it possible that we might not see people coming into BCH as it touches the $900 level? Could this put BCH more on the map, or we should just expect price to continue around that 900 for a while now? You know, if she does get to the $900 and and it starts to consolidate, that's really where I see it kind of consolidating too. But you know, if nobody is really going to support Bitcoin Cash because they don't believe in it, and you know, more of the favor goes to Bitcoin, then you know, it could easily get back to that $300 level where it just continuously, I mean, that's its happy medium. That's its price discovery, in my opinion. That $300 is really where it should belong. There was really no reason for this thing to get up, you know, above Ethereum in the sense of market cap. I mean, at one point it had the second highest market cap. And that had all of it had to do with, you know, whales pulling out of Bitcoin and basically piling into Bitcoin Cash. That's the only reason why it went up. And then, of course, you know, you got retail traders that were piling into it as well, too, and hopefully getting out with a nice profit. But yeah, I wouldn't touch it at this point. I wouldn't touch it at all, to be honest with you. BCH is growing in total circulation. Let's see. I haven't really been looking at the circulating supply, 68.8. Really, the circulating supply should be the same thing as BTC. It should be 16.677, you know, billion. I'm sorry, million. But yeah, you know, why is it up, you know, about 133,000 more? It's a little shady. And there were a couple that were pre-mined. What was it? And I'm sorry, that was Bitcoin Gold. That was pre-mined. But yeah, really the circulating supply should be the exact amount, in my opinion. Monolithic. Let's see. If you're loaded and have connection with miners, crypto game is chess, is cheese. Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of whales, you know, are in with some of the miners. And, you know, if they can, you know, get some information of, you know, the hash power that's going to be converted from BTC, where it's going to go to, is it going to go to Bitcoin Cash or is it going to go to Bitcoin Gold? They'll start piling into it. So, you know, if, I don't know, Bitmain says, you know what, we're going to start pulling our hashing power from BTC to Bitcoin Cash, then yeah, why would they not pile into Bitcoin Cash? You know, Bitcoin Cash is going to have more of the hash power support. And if it has more of the hash power support, that's more likely what's going to end up getting pumped. Yeah, it's definitely sketchy with the supply. Definitely sketchy. What is the supply on Bitcoin Gold? They're not even listing the circulating supply yet. Not yet. So, but yeah, the circulating supply, yeah, it's shady. And we got to remember the cryptocurrency market is shady. It is shady. Oni, welcome, buddy. What do I think of Bittrex? Mark, welcome, by the way. Man, they're shady. They are shady. I've used them in the past. And I mean, and if you use them, I mean, you know, trade the top alts. That's what I would do. You know, I wouldn't trade a lot of the other, you know, crap alts that they have on there. Because Bittrex is used for pump and dump. You know, I think a lot of pump and dump groups definitely utilize Bittrex to start pumping some of these altcoins that have been bleeding and just consolidating. And if they've been consolidating for an extended period of time, more than likely that's what they're going to be pumping eventually. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at OMG. I do like OMG. What is OMG doing? Yeah, I mean, Neo had a nice crazy pump as well too. 32 bucks, I think it went up. Where is OMG? Okay, I thought I had it on there. Current price 740. All right, so I'm only going to look at this as of November 1st, basically, and we'll do a 30-minute chart. But I do want to see why. What was the reason for it not breaking out above that 850? So let me get rid of all the drawings on here. So prior peak, basically, and that prior peak was a little higher than where it pulled back from 870, pulled back from 850, basically. So, you know, and that's what I would be looking at if I was really analyzing this chart and it had a nice parabolic move, because this really is a parabolic move from this 650 all the way up to almost 850. Just a little under 850, you know, I would have been looking at this peak and saying, okay, you know what, is it going to break out above this prior peak here? Yes, it broke out above this one here, but this one wasn't that major. There wasn't too much fighting that happened between the bears and the bulls on this little dead cat bounce right over here. But the fighting between the bears and the bulls on this was a lot more massive. So that's kind of what I would be looking at and saying, okay, you know what was the fighting like between the bears and the bulls? And there was definitely a lot more price action movement that happened in this price range here. So I would have probably looked at this if I was looking at it. My speculation would have been that more than likely that's where I would be looking to take profit or close to it, where a majority of the fighting happened. And it got close to it, really. And at that point, where the flipping happening, where people pulling out of alts because they made a nice profit going back into BTC. And if we do a side-by-side comparison, more than likely BTC was going up as this was dropping, and BTC was dropping as this was going up. That's really what's happening. But what does this retest? So solid support for this thing, 620-ish, 625. That's where I would see the solid support, considering, majority of the fighting between the bears and the bulls to try to control price action, happened in this range here. And when that fighting happens between the bears and the bulls, that's an area to really focus on. And, kind of gives you an idea. Okay, you know what? There's a possibility that, if she does start downtrending, that is an area that she's going to downtrend. Now, in order for it to get to that 622 level, I mean, there is another key area of support that she has to break. And that key area of support is going to be 683, 685-ish, somewhere in that range. She has to break that in order for it to get to that $622 level. So getting an entry in at 683 wouldn't be bad, just to kind of test out the water, see if it's going to support it, see if it's going to hold it. More than likely, if the selling intensifies, it's not going to hold it, and she could retest that 622, possibly $6. $6 would be kind of, somewhat wishful thinking, and I think she did get to 6 on this candlestick, $6.04. But to be safe, well, let's see what she got to here. $6.01. So to get unless you have an order in at $6.01, there's no way. If you're just watching this thing and you see it drop in, you're not fast enough to be able to react to that $6.01. But at 620, yes, you can definitely get an entry in. So that's kind of what I would be waiting for if I was looking at getting an entry into OMG. But yeah, I mean, this is it's choppy. It is choppy. Oni, that's good to know, man. I didn't know that there was a good amount moving, large numbers of BTC moved to Bitfinex. Yeah, and that's the one thing, I would definitely like to be able to track, where the big wallets, keeping an eye out on these big wallets and where are they moving, their Bitcoins to. What exchange are they moving it to? More than likely, if they're moving it to an exchange, they're looking to dump it. They're not looking to hold it at all. If they're looking to just hold it, it would be sitting on a hardware wallet, something that's kind of out of the exchange in case the exchange does get hacked. I mean, they're smart. They're not going to leave tons of Bitcoins or tons of any cryptocurrency on an exchange unless they're looking to get rid of it. That's the only reason why they would move it to an exchange. So if there is, like you said, if there is a large number of BTC that's moving to an exchange, more than likely, I would say they want to dump it. Yeah, I mean, they're trying to kill BTC. They're trying to hijack the name of BTC. It's really all the above. All of the above. No, and you guys know me, man. Like, I don't fall in love with any of these cryptocurrencies. I don't. Actually, there is one that I like, and that's C20, Crypto 20, because really you have an exposure to the top 20 cryptocurrencies. You're not exposed to only one cryptocurrency. So, if the profit is there and I have the funds available to trade BTC or BCH or BCG, I'll trade it. I will trade it. But I don't hold BTC. I haven't bought BTC in a very long time. So yeah, if you're holding anything, yeah, it's hard to sleep, man. In this manipulation of a market, it's hard to sleep. there's just no way. You know, you're constantly going to be thinking about it. So, you know, your body might be asleep, but your mind is going to be wide awake, continuously thinking about some of these cryptocurrencies, some of your holdings, especially if you have a very sizable position in some of these cryptocurrencies. Somebody asked me to take a look at NEO, so we'll take a look at NEO. Yeah, LTC has been solid. It had a nice push up to the upside, but yeah, there was no dump. And it had a retracement, of course, but yeah, there was no dump on it. You know, like, I mean, even with NEO, you know, being dumped from $33, you know, all the way down to 25 bucks. You know, that's an $8 retracement within a couple of days from the 8th. Is that the 8th? Yeah, the 8th all the way down to the 12th. So within 4 days, you know, that's a lot that it gave back. You know, so a lot of these push to the upside, you know, anytime you see, and I mean, this is only a 30-minute chart, you know, so this isn't even a one-day chart, but seeing a price action move like this here, where it goes from basically, you know, what was this, 5:30 in the morning, going from 25, let's just say 26 bucks, all the way to almost 32, 33 bucks, 32.74 was the high that it set. That's a huge move. That is a huge move. You know, you got to expect a retracement. And unless you have a low ball offer in the book, I mean, when it crashed here, crashed to 28 bucks, you know, that would be a good entry to take. But I mean, who knew, you know, where it would come back down to. But yeah, this is ugly. This is just ugly. It's choppy. You know, anytime it has these crazy spikes and, you know, you have a good position in, you got to take those profits. It's not going to maintain them. I don't think a lot of these cryptocurrencies in this type of market that we're in are maintaining the type of moves that they're having. You know, they're coming back down and retesting another level, you know, and they're even breaking through, you know, what I would assume to be a key level of support. So at one point I thought this, because I had this drawn out from a couple of days ago, the 26 bucks was a nice area of support and that should have held. But what do we know? I mean, it crashed through it and it crashed down to 22 bucks. And that was as of November 2nd, it crashed down to 22 bucks, 22.50 basically. But then when it came back up, you know, a lot of the fighting did happen between the bears and the bulls, you know, somewhere in the happy medium of 26 bucks from 25 to 26.70. But yeah, coming right back down and retesting that same level. She is retesting those same exact levels that a lot of the fighting happened between the bears and the bulls. So if you can pick this out where the fighting happened, you know, where price action was basically, you know, teeter-tottering and consolidating between a certain range, that's a range to kind of be patient and wait for it to come to those levels. And several times, you know, she got to those levels instead of chasing it and buying somewhere up here, you know, thinking that that was the bottom. So let's look at the overall chart of this and see possibly an area, a safe area to kind of wait for. I don't really see it getting down to that, you know, low of 22.35 anytime soon, unless, you know, crazy shit does happen. But a healthy level would be right in that 26, 25 range. And then if it does break through it, you know, I would say it's going to be somewhere in that range there. So really, those are the areas that I would be waiting for. if she decides to retest them, if you're going to be patient, if you're going to have a low ball offer, and if you're not going to be chasing things. And sometimes, you can make a profit chasing something, but you better be ready to sell it quick, because more likely it's not going to sustain any type of crazy push to the upside. So really, those are two areas that I would kind of wait for to see if she's going to retest them. And if she does, and you got a great entry, I don't think she's going to get back down to this 13 bucks anytime soon. I remember I bought it at 20 bucks. Where did I buy it at 20 bucks? Somewhere right over here. Actually, yeah, it was right here. I caught this dip. Let me see if I can find it. This was a dip that I caught. It got to 19.50. Got it in at 20 bucks. Had a nice little dead cat bounce to 25 bucks. I didn't sell because I was waiting for 30, and she came crashing back down to 13 bucks. I didn't panic and sell. I was patient with it, and I finally sold at 34 bucks. Before, where did I sell at? I'm sorry, 33 bucks is where I sold, because it was right up here. Or it might have been 34. I can't remember. But it was a nice profit that I took from it. So if you are in a solid cryptocurrency, I would not panic and sell. Now, I wish I had more capital to add to this at 14, 15 bucks. I didn't have any capital to add to it. But I knew that, there's no way that NEO was going to be beat down and stay beat down. It is going to make a comeback. Now, if it didn't get back up to, the $30 price point that I was looking at least I can get out at 25 bucks, with a 25% profit. But that 26 bucks is looking somewhat healthy. And that's kind of what I would wait for. And if you have capital left over and it gets to 24, possibly 23, then that's a time to add to it. But 24 bucks, I'm sorry, 26 bucks, 25 bucks, really those are the levels that I would be waiting for if I had capital to buy this. I wouldn't buy it here. I really wouldn't. Unless you really want to take the risk and gamble, or just take a little bit of an entry, maybe buy a couple, see how she reacts to it, but definitely have more capital left over to buy back more than you would buy at 28 bucks. You sold it on the first pump, I'm assuming BCH, Darkness. Ecars, I agree with you, man. I think LTC could definitely come out ahead. It's just slow. That's the only thing. It's slow. And I don't know, as a trader, I don't want to be in something that's slow unless I'm going to buy it and then move it to a hardware wallet, lock it up. But yeah, it's a slow price action movement on LTC. We'll take a look at LTC too. Suzanne, I'm assuming you want me to cover BTC. I already covered BTC. That was the first thing I talked about. And now I'm talking about LTC. Marion, not a problem, buddy. Anytime. Yeah, I agree. LTC will prevail in the long run. I was thinking that F would do the same exact thing, but when you have ICOs that are just dumping their F on any uptick, then yeah, it kind of sucks. It really sucks. All right, let's see. BTC. I'm sorry, LTC. LTC. I can't remember when I plotted these out, but it definitely held that $56. So $56, as we can see, for an extended period of time. And there we go. An extended period of time, it stayed below that 56 bucks. And it had a hard time breaking out, broke out with a vengeance, came back, attempted to break out below the 56. It didn't do it. It got to 56.01, and it really maintained and held it up to 66 bucks. And when she did break down, I mean, she broke down really 3 different times. She broke down here, came down to 55, 55.75. Let's see what this was. 55.68, 56.33, and 55.68. So 56 bucks is a solid support for it, because this thing could have easily come down and crashed and really retested the $50 range again, the $53, $50 again. But she didn't, especially retesting the $53 range. She could have easily done that, but she maintained it. So, I mean, the 56 bucks, if you're patient with it, that's an entry to take. But yeah, you got to remember LTC, might be a nice long-term hold. But when it has this type of push up to the upside, like 66 bucks, and you're really profiting, almost 10 bucks per coin, sometimes you got to let it go, take the profit and be patient and wait for the dip. And once that dip happens, then, back down, retesting another key area of resistance, 56 bucks, then buy it back in. But yeah, if this thing dips down to 53, anywhere from 53 to 56, I mean, those are key areas to be buying in. But yeah, here, I mean, the risk reward, it's just really in the middle somewhere, from 56 to 66, currently being at 60, your risk reward is, it's almost 1-to-1. So yeah, I would be patient with this. If anybody's looking to get in, that strong support at 56 should hold. It has held, as we can see with these nice little dips that it's having. But unless you have that order in the book, there's no way to get it executed. There is not, to be honest with you guys, unless you get lucky. That's the only way. Oh, the LTC BTC pair. I can take a look at that. I don't really trade in pairs and cryptocurrency pair, and you guys know why. But yeah, we'll take a look at. Let's see, where is it? Poloniex looks like the only one that has a BTC pair chart for me. But if you do a side-by-side comparison with a USD pair as well as the BTC pair, the chart should look almost similar. The price action should look similar. Now, the price point might be just a little different. So that's kind of the happy medium, happy bottom there. ARK, yeah, dude, I'll definitely take a look at ARK, and then ARK will be the last thing that I look at, actually, after I look at LTC BTC. On Bittrex, I didn't see LTC BTC on Bittrex. Let's see. Let's get to Trading View, maybe. Yeah, Olaf, and that's why exactly what you said. It can go up in USD and down in BTC, and that's why I'm not comfortable trading, LTC to BTC or really any cryptocurrency to BTC, especially if I take a nice profit. Let's just say, I take a profit in ETH and it's a very sizable profit, and I go into BTC and BTC tanks. Especially if I would have gone into BTC at 7,300 bucks, 7,500 bucks, at the high of 7,800 bucks. I just basically gave back all my profit, probably gave back more. That's just really, I mean, I'm just comfortable, going into USD, to be honest with you. It might not be the right move to make, especially when BTC is going up. But when BTC is tanking, you're sitting a lot better, or at least able to sleep a lot better. All right, so the Poloniex chart is almost similar to the LTC BTC pair on Bittrex. You know, like I said, if you do a side-by-side comparison, you know, you're going to see the same price action movement. Like I said, the price might be just a little different, but the formation of the candlesticks are going to be somewhat similar. All right, so I'm basically looking at this as of November. So let's go ahead and get it a little granular, since I basically kind of plotted out where, you know, we're basically the top, you know, of the previous, or the current price action movement, the bottom of the current price action movement as of this month, and where I kind of see the happy medium. And that happy medium would be where on October 24th, it decided to kind of come down and then had a nice little bounce to the upside, basically going from 0.0087 all the way to 0.0105. Now I can kind of get it a little granular and see how it's reacted to those exact points. And she almost retested them. She almost retested that nice little drop that she had. So you got to really look at the overall chart, maybe look at it on the 1 day, 12 hours, to kind of have an idea of what it's done in the past. Then it's kind of somewhat tell you what it's going to kind of do in the future. It's not always 100%, but the probabilities are there. And the probabilities of this really doing what it did was definitely there, considering she retested this, had a nice little bounce back up. But when she came back up, you know, there was really nothing that would have told me, you know, that it would kind of have a nice little correction. And this is not really a big correction. It's just a nice little correction, profit taken. Why it would have bounced from 0.0093 down to 0.0086. You know, there was really no resistance unless I zoom in a little closer. Really, that was just a point where it was just downtrending from. So nothing would have really peaked at me and said, you know what, that's really where I would be taking profit. Yeah, if I zoom into that area where she had a resistance from, and it was really 3 points where that resistance happened. So we got our first one here, second one here, third one. But really nothing would have told me that that was an area that she could have a retracement from. You know, if I was really looking at this at that time, I would have said, you know what, she could have a retracement from 0.0096, 0.0097. That could be an area of retracement. I would not have guessed 0.0093 would have been an area of retracement at all. But the retracement was very minimal. It wasn't that much at all. But you know, when she did come back down and have a nice little correction, you know, what area did she retest? She really retested that previous area there. That was really the area of retracement. So if I was patient and I was looking to get an entry, I would say, you know what, I'm going to see if she retests that previous area. And she basically did. She cracked through it just a little bit, but she basically maintained it. So I mean, this is a good amount of fighting between the bears and the bulls to try to maintain price action movement. And honestly, the bulls maintained it. The bears could not get this thing to really crack below that 0.00. Well, they did momentarily, but in honesty, you know, 0.0087 held up pretty well, and that would have been a great entry to take. So if this thing was to come back down and retest a key area of support, that would be a key area of support. Now she could crack through it, but as long as she comes right back up, that 0.00876 is a key area of support for it. So that's first area of support. Let's take a look at possibly second area of support. Now they could always crack through the first area of support, or I'm sorry, even the second area of support, but as long as they close above it, it's still bearish, it's still bullish, I'm sorry. And that's kind of where I see the second area of support for it. But yeah, this was just, the drop below that was really kind of freakish drop. As we can see, I mean, it came down heavily. It came down hardcore, down to 0.00. 0.0076 or 75, 0.00759. So let's just say 76, but she came right back up. So that tells me that, that area of support that it should have held at 0.0081 was a very solid area of support, considering she came right back up, maintained it, and didn't kind of look back below that level. But, sometimes they do have these freakish crash where they do crash through a key area of support. So that's a first area of support is going to be that 0.887. Second area of support, 0.0081. So first area, 0.0087. Second area, 0.0081. And then the third area, I would say, is going to be the 0.0079. So those are the key levels that I would be basically taking a look at, see how she's going to handle it, whether there's going to be support or there isn't going to be any support at all. Traded all shit coins. Oh no, dude. Hopefully you got out with a profit. Hopefully you took a profit. That's the problem with shit coins. I mean, they can have a nice pump and you can make a good amount of money, but unless you lock in the profits, it's all unrealized gains and they come back down and crash on you. Then you basically gave up all the profit that you had, basically. Not locked in, but you had the profits, you just didn't lock them in. That's a problem with shit coins, unfortunately. China coin, never heard of China coin. Shirt coin or shit coin? So, I mean, if these are real coins, Olaf, I've never heard of them. Shirt coin, AKA China coin. Interesting. Is shirt coin really a, let me see. So if Daniel was on this, he would know. He would know. No shirt coin. Or China coin, no China coin. At least not that I see. All right, so I think, Oni, you want me to take a look at ARK. So Oni, where are you trading ARK at? And I'll take a look at the actual exchange that you're looking at before I get off this live stream. I'll wait for your response. All right, BCH still holding. Let me get out of this 2-hour chart, half an hour. Yeah, I can definitely see this thing breaking 175 on BTG. On Bittrex, okay. ARK USD, I'm assuming. Or BTC. Well, it's going to be the same. It's just the dollar versus the BTC. 292 for ARK. I can't remember last time I looked at ARK. I don't think I've ever really looked at ARK. ARK BTC, all right. Let me just look at the USD real quick. Because I hate looking at the BTC pair because I can't do the math on top of my head to say, okay, you know what, this is the price point. This is the USD price point for it. I mean, this thing definitely held up pretty well. But we'll take a look at the BTC pair, though. And the chart's probably going to be the exact same thing. Maybe not. Interesting. So this is the 1 day. And where is it currently at? Prior resistance. And I mean, we're talking way back. We're talking about June. So we're going back to June. It's basically sitting right at that level. Man, this is pretty ugly. This is pretty ugly. This is like, man, it looks like one of the ski resorts that I normally frequently visit. Nice peak and then a crazy slope. Yeah, let me go ahead and enlarge this thing. And kind of get rid of this first day that it was listed on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with ARK for it to have this type of an avalanche move to the downside. Yeah, this isn't pretty at all. So the problem with this is it seemed like it found that happy bottom, but we're still not uptrending the right way. And that's the issue that I see with this. I don't really see a nice uptrend. Now, I would have definitely said that, you know, the bottom that it set here at 0.0, what is that? 0.00023, whatever it is, or 0.00025. I would say that was a happy bottom, and only if we would have had a price action movement of something like this, you know, where it would have basically kind of leveled out, found that happy bottom, and continuously, you know, attempted to retest those levels again. You know, this is the type of move that I would be kind of looking for to say, you know what, that's a happy bottom for it there. But that's definitely not what I'm seeing. You know, I don't see it continuously retesting this level again and again and again and again to say, you know what, that's a very solid support. You know, when it has this type of move to the upside, yeah, you know, she did come back down a little bit, had a nice little dead cat bounce. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little closer on this. But I can definitely see it. If it retests this level again of 0.00025, and it continuously bounces off of that level, then I would say, you know what? It's found that happy medium. That is the bottom for it at the current moment. But this parabolic move from 0.0032 all the way to 0.005, it's a little scary, to be honest with you. So from this current price action move, and it's only if she's going to retest this level here, you know, we can expect it to retest the 0.00025 again if she breaks through that level, and that level has to hold. And if it can't hold, she will definitely retest that other area. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, prior resistance has to be the current support. me see if I can get this color to change. All right, it won't change. But prior resistance has to be the current support. And if she's not willing to hold that current support of 0.000037. See, this is why I don't like doing the BTC pair, because I'm always like 0.000037. But yeah, she has to hold that. So if she does decide to break back down, which I'm assuming she will, to be honest with you, more people are interested in Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold at the current time. I don't know if there is too much of a demand for ARK currently right now due to this price action move. But if she does come back and retest this area, if this thing will cooperate with me, as long as she can come back down and retest this area and bounce off this area and not break through it, then that's a healthy entry. That 0.00037565, whatever it is. But if she can't hold it and she doesn't consolidate for an extended period of time, that's usually what I kind of look for. Is it consolidating for an extended period of time? And if it cannot consolidate for an extended period of time, more than likely the bears are going to win that battle. They will. If it consolidates, then the bulls are maintaining that price action of support at that key level. And that could be a key level. So currently right now, let's see if there's any other levels. Really, that's the only level that I see at the current time. Let me zoom out, and then we'll get back to the 45 minutes. There's another area. Okay. All right, so prior resistance has to be current support. Can't maintain that support, doesn't consolidate sideways. More likely the bears are going to win that battle, and we could have an extended dip to retest 0.0003, whatever. It's not going to be 0.003 to an exact. It could be 0.003, 1 or 2, something to that extent there. So that really is going to be the second area of support that hopefully the bears, or I'm sorry, the bulls can maintain that control on that price action. And if they can't, then, happy medium, bear bottom price is going to be somewhere in that range of 0.000367, something to that extent. But yeah, I don't know. We can pay attention to this thing. I don't know if you have an entry in this, but, we can kind of pay attention to this price action and see, is she going to break out above, its current price action on the 15-minute chart? And she would have to maintain the 0.000472, something to that extent there. So as long as she stays within this range of its current price action price right now of 0.00045 to 0.0047 and consolidates in that range, then it's, somewhat healthy. Then yeah, it is, forming a bull flag to an extent. Short-term price action bull flag, I would say. This isn't long-term price action bull flag at all. Because really, if we take a look at this on the overall chart on the 1 day, there's nothing pretty about this at all. There's nothing that says, long-term, this is looking good. Long-term, really, if I was looking at this, I would say she hasn't really maintained a healthy key level. And that healthy key level for it to stay above, if you were looking at the overall chart on the 1 day, would be that it has to get above the 0.00053 and maintain that level for an extended period of time. And as long as it can maintain that for an extended period of time, then more likely you're going to have a crazy pump to the upside. And then it could retest other areas where it could possibly get up to that 0.00075, 0.0008 possibly. But currently right now, yeah, I would have to say it's a short-term price action. Definitely a short-term price action bull flag at the current moment. But nothing beyond that. And as long as she can maintain this trend here, let me see if I can zoom out. As long as she can maintain this trend on the upside, she could be healthy. But only time will tell. Only time will tell whether she's going to break that trend and come right back and retest this prior area of resistance. I'm sorry, prior area of support. Well, prior resistance becoming possibly current support right at this. Let's go ahead and change that to purple or dark blue. So that's an area that I can kind of see. If she does break this upward trend line, that's an area that I could see it retesting. And hopefully there will be some sort of a strong support. And it's not 100% where prior resistance becomes current support, but there is that possibility. And trading is all about probabilities. Charting is all about probabilities. But if it maintains this upward trend line, then yes, short-term price action is bullish. It definitely is bullish. But if she does maintain this upward trend line, she has to get up above a certain price point and maintain that price point. And that price point is 0.000472 or 471, something to that extent. So if she maintains this price action here, let's go ahead and draw out some lines. So, as long as she keeps retesting that trend line and keeps retesting it and gets right up to, that 0.00471, 472 and consolidates, it's good. Even though she won't stay above our upward trend line, the green trend line, as long as she consolidates above that line, it's bullish to me. It's only a matter of time before she really goes parabolic and gets right back up above that price action of 0.00052. 0.00052 is going to be an area where she could have a hard time, and that's an area where she could bounce right back down and retest the 0.00047. Now, it might not be, a drop to that extent, but it is going to be somewhat of a drop where she will downtrend to that price point there. And then buyers, the bears or the bulls, the bulls will support it or should support it at that price range there, something to that extent. So she's got to get back above, or she's got to get above that 0.00047. If she can do that, maintain it, 0.00052 is definitely in sight. So hopefully that was helpful. I know there's a lot of chicken scratch drawing that I put up on here. But yeah, just pay attention to this upward trend line, basically taking it from, somewhere where a lot of the fighting happened between the bears and the bulls. Let me get rid of this. So let me clear everything out. And a lot of fighting did happen between the bears and the bulls, right in this area here for price action, right in that area there for price action. So really you can take your trend line either from this peak here, or you can take it from this peak. It really doesn't matter. Or you can take it from this peak here. But as long as it can maintain that trend line and stay above it, short-term price action is bullish. If she breaks it, then she's going to retest a key area of support, which that key area of support is going to be where the prior resistance happened. to form it as hopefully a new support. So that's kind of what I would be looking for if you're in this. If you're in this, if you're not in it, that's a level that I would be waiting for to kind of have a small entry. Nothing big, but just to kind of get your feet wet to see how she does react to the prior resistance, form it as a new support. And if she breaks through it, which she can, then at least you have funds to add onto it at 0.00032 or 0.003, whatever, 31, something to that extent. So hopefully only that was helpful. But yeah, it all depends on that trend line. And, usually, if it follows that trend line and maintains that trend line, it's healthy. It's being supported. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. And then I do have to end this live stream. Need more crypto OGs. Yeah, I wish I was a crypto OG. But that's a good t-shirt though, man. I like that. We do need more crypto OGs. Average Joe OG is what we need. We don't need these well OGs, that can easily manipulate the market. Coming from Euro, there's no other choice in trading in BTC, right? No, I think if you're using GDAX, and I don't know if somebody answered it below. I haven't gotten to all the comments yet. But if you're trading on GDAX, then you can trade, BTC Euro, or F Euro or LTC Euro. I think, is that one of them? Let's see. I said I wouldn't access GDAX, but I'll definitely take a look at this for you. So BTC Euro or BTC Great Britain Pound, F Euro, and LTC Euro. So you can trade, those pairs with that fiat currency. Yes. So, and I'm sorry I didn't get to the second part of your question, but yeah, if you want to trade, anything else with BTC, then yeah, you got to move over to Bittrex or Binance. I would look at Binance, to be honest with you. I would be very careful with Bittrex, especially if you're trading, the crap coins that they do list on there, because a lot of them are just set up for pump and dumps. Stick to what's solid, to be honest with you. Stick to the top 10 coins, maybe the top 15 coins, excluding Ripple, NIM, and I don't know what else, and Cardano. Yes, and anybody that wants to join our general Slack chat, you can definitely do that by going to, there's a link on the bottom of this, CryptoTradersRoom.com, and then click on the general chat. There's a questionnaire that you do have to answer. So, answer it truthfully. That's all that we ask. Just to make sure that, and share your correct social media profile, just to make sure that you're a real person joining our Slack chat. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at it, vet it, and send you an invitation. It won't be right away, but keep an eye out from an email from Slack indicating that you got an invitation to our general Slack chat. BTC on a cliff. Is it hanging by a thread? No, I mean, it's not doing too bad. It's not doing too bad. It's maintaining above the 6,000. So short term, it's pretty healthy, I would say. Short term. So Oni, all that trading you did, man, hopefully you got some sleep. So basically, yeah, you took one BTC on Bittrex, turned it into 4 BTCs over the last 100 hours. Man, hopefully you got some sleep and some rest, and liquidated 3.5 into USDT when BTC hit 6,700. That's pretty good, man. That is pretty good. Hats off to you. That's a good statement that you just made. If BTC retests 5,000, Coinbase will shut down. Yeah, that's why I don't like using Coinbase at all. First of all, you're going to end up paying those fees. You guys know that. I like using, well, I did like using GDAX, especially, if you're going to set in a low ball offer on a limit buy, you're not going to pay the commission. But yeah, they're always having outages. So, that's definitely a possibility where if BTC does decide to tank and you don't have that low ball offer in the book and you can't log into the system, there's no way that you can capture that price action. Excluding Cardano, I don't like Cardano at all. I really don't. And honestly, I've said it in the past. Ripple, I don't like. There's no reason that it's in the top 10 whatsoever. I don't think it's going to do much on this price action movement. It might get up to 0.25 cents. That's about it. But the only reason why it's up there is because of the circulating supply. NIM, same exact thing. It's up there because of circulating supply. Now, IOTA, on the other hand, even though the circulating supply is over 2 billion, it's not enormous as NIM or Ripple. So that's really the only one that I would kind of say, all right, you know what? I might leave that on there because the circulating supply is it's not enormous, even though 2.7 billion is somewhat enormous. But it's had some nice price action moves from, 45 cents, 50 cents, all the way to 60 cents, 65 cents. Short-term price action, of course, too, not long-term. Now, if IOTA drops to 30 cents, which it has, I think 32 cents, 36 cents in the past, then yeah, for long-term hold, it's not bad. But does it belong in the top 10? Definitely not. Let's see what else. And Cardano with 25, almost 26 billion in circulating supply. It's not going to see too much of a price action move above, 3 cents. So, it's not much of a profit that you're going to make off of it unless you're buying a boatload of it. So the more of a position that you have and it goes up just a fraction of a penny, then yes, you can see the profit. But more than likely, the average Joe, like myself and anybody else that's on this live stream who's not a whale, is not going to be buying, millions and millions of Cardano coins. They might buy 100, 200, maybe 1,000, 2,000, something to that extent. So you're not going to really see the profit there. And that's why I exclude Cardano. Now if I buy 1 million and it goes up a half a cent, yeah, the profit is there. It's definitely there. But the average Joe, like myself, we're not buying a million Cardano coins. So that's why I excluded that. But yeah, let's see, where is it traded? I don't even know what the price action has been doing. I've never really looked at it. 3.5 cents, something to that extent. So, it's gone up a penny. A penny. That's not much at all if you're not buying a lot. But if you're buying a shitload, and holding it at 0.25 or 2 cents, and it gets up to 3 cents, then yeah, it's a 50% profit on a boatload of coins. Then the profit is there. But yeah, unless you're buying a shitload of it, I don't see the profit really being there. No sleep today. It's Friday. Oh, man. Well, that's good, man. Hopefully you get some rest if it's Friday for you. But yeah, you definitely got to get some sleep and some rest. If not, really, there's no way you can TA. There just isn't. Your mind is going to be cloudy. Your judgment is going to be cloudy. You're going to end up making mistakes. You're going to end up putting in the wrong decimal point and really causing a crazy, crazy green, especially if you're putting in a market buy order. I'm sorry, a limit buy order, and you put in, 0.005, instead of putting in 0.0005, and mistakes like that happen. I see it happen all the time on Ether Delta. you know, somebody just puts in the wrong decimal point and causes something to go up, you know, 3, 4, 5 folds. And then it comes right back down to where it was, you know, and that person that bought it is probably like shitting their pants. Like, how did I make this mistake? How did it happen? More than likely, you know, their judgment was cloudy. You know, they weren't thinking properly, and lack of sleep can definitely do that. You're forked. I like that. Nice. I've been forked. I like that, man. Instead of being wrecked, I've been forked. You're going to have to start using that more often. If somebody gets wrecked, they're forked. 1 million minimum. You need that for shit coins or shirt coins. I guess you're calling it. You can call it shit coin, dude. I don't care. But yeah, you're absolutely right. So, I mean, you know, if something is just a crap coin and you definitely want to take advantage of it and buy it, I mean, I personally wouldn't. Yeah, you definitely want to buy a boatload of it. And then in the hopes that it goes up, you know, a quarter of a penny, you know, or a half a penny, whatever it is. And then you're able to lock in a good amount of that profit. Yeah, Ether Delta is a huge learning curve. And yeah, if you're not familiar with trading, stay away from it. Watch as many videos as you can about it. I don't even feel comfortable using Ether Delta, to be honest with you. I just don't. I know the basics of it, but I'm still trying to learn Ether Delta as well too. And there's a couple times where I could have sold something at a 400% profit, you know, if I would have known how to use Ether Delta and been comfortable to be able to use it. And even if I was comfortable using it, you know, there's still a large learning curve that I could easily make a mistake. Daniel, there you are, buddy. We're just talking about some of your shit coins or shirt coins. Somebody mentioned shirt coin or shirt coin, and then China coin. And I was like, man, those are coins that Daniel would know. And I had to research them. And I was like, oh, those don't exist. But yeah, I'm going to get off the live stream. But yeah, tell me, Daniel, what is your great investment idea? I definitely would love to hear it before I get off this live stream. I'm sure it'll give me a laugh. Suzanne, I don't know much about the BCH fork. I don't think it's a hard fork where it's splitting into another coin. But yeah, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I've been kind of out of the loop, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's not splitting into another coin. But yeah, tell me what new Ponzi coin you got today, Daniel. How strong are those hands? I don't know, dude. Not if I was holding them, they wouldn't be strong. Not at all. Those would be like a millisecond flip if I was to get into it, which I would never get into it. Yeah, I didn't think BCH hard fork, or is it, yeah, BCH hard fork or BCH fork was splitting into another coin. I mean, yeah, because Ethereum had a hard fork not long ago, and it wasn't a fork into another coin. You pump, I dump coin. UPID. I like that, dude. That's a t-shirt idea right there. You pump, I dump. I like it. I like it. And that's really what should have been happening. You know, when the whales were basically pumping BCH and pumping BCG. And if you're holding it, that's the time you should have been dumping it, you know, and not buying it as they're pumping it. The shady hedge fund. I like that idea, dude. I like that idea. And I'm surprised nobody has come out with it yet. Just all the shit coins. Create a hedge fund for all the shit coins. Yes, USDT is a great question. USDT is another altcoin that's supposed to be pegged to the US dollar, but it never is. So let's go ahead and take a look at USDT. And USDT, I've seen this thing as low as 91 cents in the past, a while back. So let's see, 92 cents. That was August 27th. But yeah, It's supposed to be even 1-to-1, but it's never even 1-to-1, to be honest with you. And I've seen this thing as high as $1.04. So, I would be careful with Tether. I wouldn't recommend anybody hold Tether, to be honest with you. It's not an investment. It's not a wise investment idea. But yeah, Tether is an altcoin that's supposed to be pegged to the US dollar, but never is. And Tether is basically USDT. That's what Tether is. Oni, thanks for joining, bud. Always appreciate it. Doge. Yeah, Doge is wrecked. Actually, my son asked me about Doge yesterday for the first time in a long time. And I was like, I'm like, yeah, you still have it. 18 Satoshis. 18 Satoshis. But it seems to be holding that 18 Satoshis. It seems to be holding it. With 17 Satoshi was a low that it set. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. As long as it consolidates, there's always going to be somebody that's going to pump this thing. Now, are they going to pump it right back up to where it was in the past of 130 Satoshis? Probably not. Could they pump it up 100% from where it currently is, to 36 Satoshis? More than likely, yeah, it could happen. It's just a matter of, are they done accumulating? And that's one of the biggest things is, they're going to spend tons of time. It could be a month, it could be a month and a half of them accumulating at 17 Satoshis, 18 Satoshis, and just accumulating, but not buying a lot, to kind of throw up a red flag and throw up some sort of alarm to indicate, whoa, somebody is accumulating this thing. And before you know it, they'll pump it up. Yeah, dude, stay metal. Stay metal. You're going to buy the, I won't even say it. And I'd be surprised if that's not a real coin. I'd be very surprised. Not a problem. You're welcome, Suzanne. Thank you for joining. I do appreciate that. Sold some of your BTC now. Now might be a bad time to sell, man. I mean, I would have sold above 7,000. But, we got to remember, I mean, there was somebody that sold, at 5,400 bucks. Unfortunately, they panicked and sold at 5,400. And so, what price point did they really get in? Hopefully they didn't buy in at 7,000, thinking that was a nice happy bottom, especially if they were looking at this chart. Let's see this thing real quick. If they would have bought a 7,000 up here and they didn't take the profit at 7,900 bucks and she started to crash, hopefully they didn't dump this, or at least cut their loss at 5,400. But you never know somebody's mentality and how they're thinking. And when something is dropping, a lot of times you can make an irrational decision and you just end up selling at the wrong time. Price point at 3,300 for BTC. I was really looking at, and this is a long shot for BTC, to be honest with you, for it to get to that price level. But yeah, let's take a look at this real quick before I do end it. That 3,000 is really where I have a nice level of it possibly retracing down to if shit hits the fan. And I mean, shit hits the fan. And reason why I do like that 3,000 price point is, I always like to look at, prior resistance, forming as a current support. And if it had a breakout above that prior resistance, so prior resistance of 3,000, had a nice confirmed breakout above that 3,000. When she came back down and retested it, what did she retest? She retested 3,000. Let me put a circle there. If I can put a circle there. She came back and retested 3,000. So that tells me that is a strong support. Now, shit would have to hit the fan in order for it to get to that level. It really would have to. I'm not saying that's going to get to that level, but if shit hits the fan and she does, break the 5,000 psychological level, which, so 5,000 still a psychological level that it must maintain. So prior resistance, again, if I can put a circle there, or let's go ahead and put a box. I don't think I can. Okay, there we go. So prior resistance of 5,000 had a nice confirmed breakout above that 5,000. Somewhat formed it as a support because we did have a retracement when it got to, let's see, 5,900, 5,920 bucks. It had a nice retracement to 5,114. So it didn't get to that 5,000, but it attempted to retest that $5,000 level again. So that basically indicates to me that that is a very good psychological level. Now, did she retest 5,000 again? No, she has not. But she did retest 5,400. So when I told our Slack chat, I was like, you know, by this weekend, if she does come down, she's going to come down to that 5,000. That's really what I was looking at, you know, to say, okay, you know what? There's a possibility she could come down to that 5,000. And our 50-day and our 100-day moving average was really hovering right around, you know, 4,850, 4,900 bucks. Let's take a look at the 12-hour chart. There we go. Our 12-hour chart. So on the 200-day moving average was really situated just a little under the 5,000. That's really what I was looking at to say, if shit hits the fan and she's going to retest a key level, that is a key level that she could retest, not should, but she could retest. So let's just say hypothetically, you know, BTC shits the bed and she does crack through that psychological level of $5,000. You know, the other area, a strong support would be 3,000. Now, it's not likely that it's going to get to exactly 3,000. You know, it could be, you know, 3,100, 3,200, something to that extent. Or it could even be 3,500, you know, 3,450 bucks. And that would be this level right here. But I think that 5,000, I'm sorry, that 3,000 is still a good psychological level. But she could easily come back down and retest. I'm going to put retest these levels here. You know, that's really a strong support. But if she breaks through it, 3,000, I can't see this thing breaking below $3,000. I really don't. I really don't, unless whales are just dumping it and dumping it and dumping it because they want to take advantage and bring it down to $2,000 and they want to buy at $2,000. That's the only reason why this thing would crack below 3,000. And I think anybody and everybody and their mother would look at BTC chart hitting 3,000 and be buying it up and not give the whales a chance to buy it at 2,000. But yeah, this is it's crazy. That's really all that I can say. It's crazy correction. And these type of corrections don't really normally happen, but in the cryptocurrency market, dude, it's insane. It's a wild, wild west. It really is. But yeah, let's see. They're 3,300 bucks. It's let's see. That's sitting right about here. Yeah, anything's a possibility. Anywhere from, you know, really that 3,500, 3,600 down to 3,000 could easily be a possibility. If, like I said, shit hits the fan. I think 3,500 would work for anybody. I think 4,000 would work for anybody. But yeah, you know, we'll have to see exactly, you know, going out through this week to see how this price action holds up. And as long as she can hold up, you know, above key level, and that key level that she broke through and is really attempting to maintain, let's look at this a little closer, is that 6,500 bucks. You know, if she can maintain it and just consolidate, it's healthy. And I don't see it dropping below that, because if they were going to drop it, they would have probably already dropped it. Andreas, thank you for joining, buddy. I do appreciate it. Suzanne, thank you so much. You know, and that's why I do these. I mean, hopefully, you know, you guys can pick up on a couple little tricks here and there and be able to utilize them. And, you know, if you find this helpful and you end up utilizing, you know, some of the stuff that I talk about and you're able to profit off of it, I mean, definitely share it on the chat, you know, share it on the comment, especially the comment, because then, you know, that'll be kind of a testimonial to other people that are watching the video and they're able to read your comment. and how this live stream was able to help you out. But with that being said, I definitely want to thank everybody for joining this live stream. You guys are great. Anybody that's hit that thumbs up. Anybody new that has subscribed currently, we are getting close to that 3,000 subscriber count. So I do appreciate you guys joining, and spread the word about Crypto Traders Room. If you have a Twitter account, share the link with as many people as you can, and the more people we have, the better it'll be. But yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for joining. This is Crypto Trader and Crypto Traders Room, last frontier and keeping it real with honesty and integrity. Until Wednesday, you guys have a blessed day. Nothing but the utmost respect, peace, and love, and we'll talk soon.